I find that when I first meet people, or maybe when I'm giving a lecture down in the city on Western science and acupuncture, people tend to ask me a couple of questions, and they always seem to be the same. The first thing that people tend to ask me is, how did a scientist end up being an acupuncturist? And that is simply, I found myself in a health jam that I couldn't get myself out of. I was using Western medicine, our traditional medicine. You know, Boston is a great place, a great medical community, world class, best in the world, and it wasn't helping me. I had been studying meditation, I had been doing yoga for a number of years, and people in my classes there had told me, well, why don't you try acupuncture? I think acupuncture is really going to help you. And I said, no way, I'm not doing needles, no way. And well, about the third time somebody suggested that they thought that acupuncture could really help me, they actually gave me the name of an acupuncturist. And I was just amazed. When I went to see this acupuncturist, one, the needles didn't hurt. Two, it was very relaxing. And three, I got immediate relief. Both the intensity of my problem and the frequency that I was having it just dropped away. And I just found myself, I kept going to acupuncture because I wanted to improve my health, feel really good, and I just found that acupuncture really worked for me. In fact, you know, I'm a real health advocate for myself, as I am for my patients, and that was 7 or 8 years ago, and I still go to see my acupuncturist regularly because the health benefits are just wonderful. So acupuncture really helped me. It was very comfortable, very relaxing, and I was so surprised. So I kept going. My problem was solved, but I kept going, and I started to read about acupuncture. And what I found through my reading is that acupuncture, the study of acupuncture, just really reminded me of why I wanted to be a biologist in the first place. And so I kept reading, and I started looking at the scientific literature because I'm a scientist. I worked as a cell biologist and a microbiologist in biotechnology for more than 20 years. And again, Boston's a real hotbed for scientific investigation of how acupuncture works. Western medicine is really curious how acupuncture works. And so I started reading the studies on acupuncture. And I was so surprised because some of the studies that were conducted right in the Boston and New England area said that, among other things, acupuncture was stimulating the body to produce immune potentiators. Immune potentiators are things that enhance your natural immunity, repopulate your blood cells if you're anemic, rebuild your immune system, your body's natural defenses. And these immune potentiators, these molecules, were the exact molecules I had been working on in biotechnology. And I thought, here I was thinking I was spending my career bringing to light the body's most natural, most healing biomolecules that there were, the world's most natural drugs that there could be. And then now I read, you can stimulate those same cells, those same health benefits with acupuncture without the use of any pharmaceuticals whatsoever. Using the body's own natural cell biology, you could retune your own health. And I was just knocked out by that. I was just amazed, and that just really helped me just jump tracks. I jumped from biotechnology and the career and the science I knew to sort of just start all over again and to go to graduate school for another 4 years and study Chinese medicine, another round of biomedicine, and get the best training in the world to become an acupuncturist. And I say the best training in the world because actually I felt I was really lucky because the oldest and most esteemed school of acupuncture in all of the United States was located 4 miles from my house. So I just thought, why not? One of the other questions that people tend to ask me a lot is, does acupuncture work and how does it work? And that's the million-dollar question, right? How does it work? And from my studies of Chinese medicine, it's a very well-developed long-standing medical body of knowledge. It's not really a belief system. It's fully grounded in scientific and medical principles, clinical observation over thousands of years. But Western medicine is very curious to know how acupuncture works. And as a cell biologist and microbiologist, I'm curious too. So among the things we know of that we can measure biologically, when an acupuncturist places an acupuncture needle onto an acupuncture point on somebody's body, a whole variety of things happen, and they happen at the same time. So for example, the level of serotonins in somebody's body goes up. We can measure that. Serotonins are the body's natural calming mechanism. That's one of the reasons that people find acupuncture very effective for stress relief. The other thing that happens is that the body starts to produce more endorphins, and those are the body's natural painkillers. And again, this helps explain how acupuncture can bring a natural relief to the body. We also find out that circulation, delivery of oxygen, free flow of blood happens in the area because we can measure those changes as well. So we find that local inflammation goes down. We find that immunity is enhanced and goes up. When we do fluorescent MRI studies of the brain and do acupuncture with chronic pain patients, we can see that the pain centers of the brain begin to quiet down. We can see that the restorative centers of the brain begin to become active. Those are the centers that are active in the part of our very best sleep. So if you've had a really good night's sleep, those are the same restorative centers that light up while you're sleeping, and that's why a good night's sleep is so beneficial. People often ask me, how can you do acupuncture without needles? Because I do non-needle therapy. And there's any number of ways actually that you can stimulate an acupuncture point on somebody's body. You can use needles. You can use very gentle needles like I use. You can use magnets. You can use electrical energy. You can use colored light. Western biomedicine is really curious as to how acupuncture works and how acupuncture can work in a non-needle situation, like using gentle electrical energy to stimulate an acupuncture point. Well, the latest research out of New England involves the study of connective tissue. Collagen is the most prevalent protein molecule in the body, and it's present in our connective tissue. And our connective tissue is really what connects our organs, our tissues, binds us from head to toe. So connective tissue is made of collagen, and while it's the most common protein in the body, it has a singular and very unique quality, being that it acts like a semiconductor. What a semiconductor is a moiety, something that conducts an electrical charge over a long distance without any lessening of the charge. So it's a very gentle and potent signal. And so by using colored light and the combination of colored light with gentle electrical stimulus, we believe that this in part explains why for example, if someone has a headache, can put an acupuncture needle or other stimulus in somebody's toe and it will affect their headache. I find that people are curious, for one, about what's gentle acupuncture. And so I usually give them this sort of little demonstration. This is gentle acupuncture.